What's up, dogs? It's Nyctopluvo back with another recent games pickups, and I also have some DVD and Blu-rays pickups I thought I'd throw in there. But anyway, let's jump right in. First, I got Frogger on the PlayStation 1, and this is pretty much like, if you know Frogger, this is pretty much just the PlayStation 1 version. It's got like a multiplayer mode in it where you could like race your friends to see who could beat the levels faster. But yeah, it's standard. I figured I didn't have like any Frogger games, so I picked this up. Next is a game I picked up because it's like it's Monsters Inc. Scream Team, and like I played a Monsters Inc. game, like I rented one from like a video store when I was real young. I vaguely remember, and I think this might have been the one. But like in this game, it's kind of like a training simulator for like the monsters, and like you have to like go around and like scare these little like robots, and it's really like silly and kind of dumb, but I found it to be like a lot of fun, because like I mean, like, even though you're just running around scaring like these little stupid robots, it's just like really silly, like, and fun to play. Yeah. Next, I got Raymond Rabbit's Travel in Time. I think this is the last one I needed to complete my Wii collection. But yeah, it's just another silly Raymond Rabbit's game. In this one, like, all the mini games relate to like some like event back in time. Like, you kind of like run through like a museum in this game, and you like go up to like these paintings, and like you like scream at them, and then like your time traveling washing machine shows up, and then you do a mini game relating to like the painting you just screamed at, and it's really weird, it's really dumb, and it's fun. And there was like this one like flying like mini game one in there, and it had something to do with like Benjamin Franklin and like him discovering lightning and stuff. It like vaguely had to do with that, but like the flying mechanics were really weird in this. Next, I got Pitfall, the Lost Expedition on Xbox. I didn't even know this game existed, but this is like, if you know like the Atari game Pitfall, this is like pretty much, I assume, what they wanted to do if they had the technology at the time. But it's really fun. Like, the premise of the game is you're on, like, you crash on like a desert island. You're trying to find like members of like your playing team, and yeah, it's pretty like similar to like the Atari games. It also includes the Atari games as a bonus in the game, but like it's really fun. I thought it was pretty cool because like in like Pitfall, like in the game on the Atari, there was like these holes that would open up and close, and like to explain that in this game, they're kind of like these like mouth pit things, I guess you could say. Like, they're like these holes in the ground, they have like teeth, and if you fall in them, they kind of like chew you up and spit you out. And this game's like really silly, and it's a lot of fun. Next up is a surprisingly cheap game, considering the fact that it's a Star Fox game, but it's called Star Fox Guard. It's not like a typical Star Fox game. It's kind of like a tower defense kind of, where like there's this base, and like these robots come and attack the base, and you kind of like switch from like cameras and kind of like try to like defend the base. And it's a really simple game. I don't think it really needed to be like a Star Fox game, but I think they just threw a Star Fox on it so it would sell better. But I don't think it sold very well, considering the fact that I bought it for $2 and it's a Wii U game, but I had a lot of fun with it. Next up is Metroid Prime, which is like the first 3D Metroid game, and I had the second one. I just needed this one because I wanted to play through this one first before I started the second one. And it's not really like your standard first person shooter, but it's still pretty fun. Like, in the first level, you're escaping like a spaceship. Like, you go in there, like, destroy like a parasite queen thing, and then you escape and you get like attacked by Ridley. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm gonna have to dive deeper into it though. Next up is a game I used to have. It's called Spyro Enter the Dragonfly, and I really like the PS1 Spyros, but like the ones after that, like, I didn't like, because like they had like different developers developing them that weren't Insomniac. However, like I remember not liking them, but I want to like get them back again, like all the ones I used to have, just to see like, if they really are bad games, or if I just didn't like them because they weren't like, the PS1 ones. But this one's actually similar-ish to the PS1 ones, I guess you could say, because I think this is the first. I think this might be the first one they made after Year of the Dragon, which was the last Insomniac one. But yeah, it's fairly similar. Like, you don't have to like go through portals to go to every level. And the premise of the game is like you're collecting like dragonflies, like trying to save them because like Ripto comes back and he's like, oh, the dragonflies give like the dragons powers, so I gotta take all the dragonflies. And so he's like trying to like take all the dragonflies, and you have to like rescue them. But it's kind of weird because they don't want to be rescued, and you have to like chase after them and use like this bubble breath to like capture them. And they're a little bit annoying to catch, but this is still similar-ish to the Insomniac games, and I think I'm gonna try to like play through it to completion, see what I think. Next up is a game I didn't know existed, and I just saw it like on the shelf. I was like, oh, this looks interesting. It's a game about Lost, and I just recently got into like the TV show, and I finished it and I loved it. And if you haven't seen it, you probably should. It's a great show. It's on Netflix. But anyway, like this game, it's kind of weird because I didn't know what I was getting into when I played it. And like when you first play it, it shows like the plane crash like at the beginning, and I thought it was like, at first I thought the character you were playing as was supposed to be Jack, and I was like, oh, they did a horrible job at like making him look like, Jack from the show. And then I realized that it's not Jack, it's some other character they just threw into like, like a character, an off-screen character, I guess you could say. Because like the game kind of follows the same events, it seems like, as the show, like, but you're kind of like a side character that wasn't in the show, and like you have amnesia and you're trying to get your memories back. And it's kind of weird though, because like the people from like the show, they didn't get like the actors to voice act for this game, and like it's kind of off-putting, especially like Locke doesn't sound anything like he does from the show. But it doesn't seem like it's a bad game. I'm kind of curious to see what happens to the character at the end, or how far this game actually gets into the TV show. But yeah, I had some fun with that. Next up is Soul Calibur 2. This is the first Soul Calibur game I have now, and I haven't like gotten into the story just yet, but I mean, from what I understand, the Soul Calibur games are about like this sword right here on the cover called like the Soul Calibur, and it's supposed to like stop evil or something. But this is kind of like a 3D fighting game, all about like swordsmen and whatnot. The cool thing about this game is the GameCube version has Link in it, and when I was just playing as Link. So like I don't know any of these characters yet because I haven't been in the story, so I don't know who I like just yet. So I was just playing as Link, and it's a pretty decent game. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like get into the story and see what that's about. But yeah, next up, I bought Mario Party 6, and I've noticed like I feel like I never see like Mario Party games on the GameCube, and when I do, obviously it's a Mario game, so it's expensive. So I don't know, I just feel like I should start picking them up, because I feel like I should have all the Mario Party GameCube games. All I have is like 7 and this one now, but this is the one where there's like 2 different hosts hosting like the parties. It's the sun and the moon guy, and like throughout the game, like every so often, like the map will turn from like day to night, and like different things will happen. But yeah, it's just, it's another Mario Party game, and yeah, it's nice to add to the collection. Next up, I probably should have this over here, but I picked up a DDR mat at a thrift store. So of course, with that, I had to pick up a couple games. So I picked up DDR Extreme. I picked up DDR Extreme 2. DDR-X, and I picked up DDR Max. So, I mean, not much to say about them. They're just DDR games. You get the point. Also, I mean, obviously, you've probably seen the video for it already that went up last Friday. But obviously, I picked up Mario Odyssey because, there's not many games on the Switch, and this is like, I have to say, this is probably my favorite game on the Switch so far. I didn't really get into Zelda as much as I wanted to, but like I did play this game through to completion, and this is actually the first 3D Mario game I've played to completion. Like I played them all, I just haven't completed them, and it's really fun. And I'm still playing it because there's a lot of post-game content, and yeah, it's a great game. I mean, you could always watch the video I made to hear, my more of my thoughts on it. But yeah. Next up is a game I'm gonna do this Friday for my Game of the Week show, but it's called The Girl and the Robot, and this is kind of like a indie game. It was like a Kickstarter game. Basically, it's like there's this girl and this robot, and like the girl kind of remotely controls the robot, but you're trying to like escape the castle, and like all these other robots are trying to capture the girl. And I mean, I don't want to dive too deep into the game because I'm going to have a video up Friday about it, so I could talk more about it. But yeah, it's a really fun game. Yeah, it's a short game though, but still fun nonetheless. Next up, I mean, this is, I didn't pick this up for myself. I actually picked this up for a friend, but I thought I'd throw it in here just because it's Mad World. I picked this up for my friend Drew because I knew he was looking for it. And actually, I think I might have to pick this up for myself because it does sound interesting. It's about like, it sounds, what the back of the box says, it says it's about like a game show, deathmatch kind of thing, which sounds interesting. And like this cover art right here is what like the whole game looks like, just a black and white kind of like art style. And it says it's 2-player, so if it's co-op, definitely gonna try a little bit of that out with him. But yeah, that's it for the games. And I said I picked up some DVDs and Blu-rays because like my game store had a sale going on, so I figured why not. I need to like upgrade my movie and my movie collection. So I got I Am Legend, which is a really great movie. I think it's probably, I would say it's probably, I don't want to say top 10, maybe top 20 my favorite movies. Alien. I love all the Alien movies, but the first one's particularly my favorite, so now I got this. This might be like maybe top 10 favorite movies. I got Taken. I also really like this one. I think this is probably top 20 for my favorite movies. I got Silent Hill Revelations. I'm not sure if this is the one I watched and liked. I'm hoping it is. I need to like watch it soon. But like I watched one of the Silent Hill movies and I was blown away because like it's usually video game movies are pretty bad, but it was actually really good, and I'm hoping I picked up the right one. Next is The Ring 2. I was kind of hoping to get The Ring 1, but they had The Ring 2, so I figured I'd pick that up. And The Ring is kind of special to me because, like, The Ring is, like, the first horror movie I've ever seen. So, like, it has, like that first horror movie you've seen, it has, like, a special impact on you. And, like, it's kind of, like, sticks with you. Like, not many, like, horror movies actually scare me, but I saw this one and the first one when I was really young, so they actually did scare me. And, yeah, it's got a special place in my heart. I don't think... This one doesn't seem to hold up as much as the first one does, though. I'll have to pick up the first one. Next up, I got The Simpsons. I got the season 1 and 2 box set, and I also got the movie on Blu-ray. And like I picked these up because like a while back I made like a Simpsons hit and run video, and I mentioned in it that like as like a point to how good the game is, that like you don't need to like watch The Simpsons to like enjoy the game, because I've never really watched The Simpsons. And then my friend Donovan like told me like after watching that video that he's like, "Oh man, you haven't seen The Simpsons? That's upsetting, man." So I was like, you know, these are cheap, so I might as well dive in, because like, it's not that I haven't watched The Simpsons because like I don't think I'd like it. I definitely think I would like it since I like Futurama so much and it's made by the same people. I just haven't, you know, found a means to watch it because I don't know what channel it's on TV. I'm sure I could have watched it real easily, but never really got around to it. And lastly, I got, because they're taking them off of Netflix, so I bought Family Guy, like a box set of season 1, 2, and 3. Well, this is a box set of season 1 and 2, which is kind of cool that they got both of those in one box set. And then season 3, because like they're taking them off of Netflix. And I mean, who doesn't love Family Guy? So now I got these around, you know, to fill the void till they decide to put it back on Netflix. I think they might just be taking the earlier seasons off, which would be these seasons. And I haven't seen every episode, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.